Hi, this is a video about software installation in IDSC 3103 database class, and it is a video describing the tail end of the first class of the semester devoted to installing as much of the class software as possible. So this talks about the end of that first class, and if you ran out of time, you should consult some or all of these videos to help you with the software installation. So please be aware that you must have all these installations completed before the next class, the second class of the semester. In addition, you must install MySQL Community Server first. You should then install Toad for MySQL Client next, although the order of the MySQL Server is installed does not really matter. The remaining two pieces of software, namely Notepad++ Advanced Text Editor and ER Assistant for building entity relationship diagrams, or ERDs, will take only a couple of minutes to install at the most. Also, note that the installation steps will not perfectly match your own installation attempt, but I believe the general flow of the process is captured fairly well. Also, please check out these three associated video recordings. I think I'm going to end up with three that you're going to need to use if you run out of time during the first class. So these two will not match your installation steps perfectly, but you should be able to figure it out and come up with a successful installations. Please be also aware that although I went through the installation process with MySQL Server and so-called SQL Pro client for Mac OS X, I am not a Mac user and I did not test all the SQL scripts, data imports, and so forth on this platform. Therefore, I cannot guarantee that everything will run exactly the same as it does on MySQL Toad Windows system. I do believe, however, that you should be able to overcome these few technical difficulties and continue to use Mac for the class. Finally, neither Notepad++ nor ER Assistant are available for the Mac. Please Google Notepad++ for Mac and ER Assistant for Mac to explore the alternatives and talk to me. So we'll start with the MySQL Community Server Windows installation, and the first step is to open up Chrome or Mozilla or a browser of your choice. I recommend Chrome, and go in the address bar and type dev.mysql.com/downloads/MySQL. This link is shown also in the PDF that's posted on the Moodle. Okay, once you get into the download section of the MySQL website, scroll down to the generally available or GA releases. Okay, and then MySQL installer for Windows with a current release 14 as of this recording will be there. Then after confirming that Microsoft Windows is the platform, scroll down a little bit further and click on the first download button that will get you to another page with the installer. Scroll down to MySQL installer and then click on the first download button again, the one that's right next to a relatively small 1.6 meg Windows installer package file. Now, the next page will bring you to a sort of Oracle sign-on screen. Okay, and you're going to have to sign up for Oracle web account by providing. I'm going to click on the page for a second to just show you some of the information you're going to need to provide, which is a valid email address, either at University of Minnesota or a private one. Then you make up a password, retype it, and then fill it, the remaining fields, showing as little personal information as possible. I did use my name, instructor for job title, you should use student. I made up a phone number like 612-555-1234, then used University of Minnesota, Carlson School of Management, Minnesota, MN 55455 for the rest of it. Okay, and then you don't use any of these options. Okay, after you successfully install this, it's unlikely you'll need this account again, so it shouldn't really matter. So since I already have one, I'm going to go back to the previous screen, and I'm going to click on the login button, and it's going to make you sign up again anyway, if not after you complete the account creation. So then you'll type your username, which is the email you provided, and then the password. Let's see if I can remember mine in a password field. Okay, and then get signed in, and this will finally bring you to a download now button. There might be some other information that you'll be prompted for, such as primary use for this server you're downloading. I just use other. I use education for industry, student for job function, and it's asking you. It's pretending this is a company, so one for number of employees. You got to sort of make up this stuff as you go along. Complete the verification, and you're eventually going to get to this download now button. So that's the goal. So once you click on that download now button, depending on your browser, the file will either end up in downloads folder, okay, downloads folder such as this one, or you'll be prompted with a save as dialog box such as this one to choose this, choose the folder yourself. So what I'm going to do, and what I recommend you do, is go under documents, create a folder named programs, and then within that folder create another folder called MySQL, and then we'll download everything we need for all the software for the class within that MySQL folder. Okay, so we'll save this file, we'll download this file, and after the installer is complete, okay, you can close the browser, okay, and then navigate to the programs folder under documents, then MySQL subfolder, and then double click on the My Installer file. It will pop up messages, maybe even several times. It's going to ask you if you want to view do an upgrade. Just click no. I'm just trying to get the screen back to the main recording window over here, and eventually you're going to end up with the first step, which is the license agreement. So after accepting the terms of a license agreement, you'll click next, and this is the important step 2. If you follow the tabs on the left side, we want to download server only. Okay, we don't need all the other products that come with it, because we're going to use our own separate client software called Toad, described in the next video. So server only is what we need. And once you select that, click next, and accept all the defaults. We'll always accept all the install and data directories that software is designed to use to avoid any problems. So we'll go next. You still have warnings. We just looked at you showing yes. Okay, and then you're ready to download, and click the execute button. Okay, so after the execute button is screen, it should be relatively quick. Monitor the progress. And if you encounter an error, you're going to have to sort of, there's try again links that might pop up. Hopefully none of that is going to happen, and eventually the installation is going to be complete. You click next, and now you're ready to configure the product. So click another next button, and you're going to get to the screen that's sort of important to sort of remember, although you don't have to do anything. Specifically, the port you might need to remember is 3306. Although it should automatically show up later on once we connect to the server. Click next again, and this is the key step. Okay, this is the very key, very important step where you're going to specify your root password for the server, and you're going to need that once you download the client software and when you go and access the server. So write it down, remember it. It has to be minimum length 4. I use your standard password for it. Okay, and repeat it. Okay, mine is weak, but it should do, and then click next. Again, the Windows service should automatically, this should automatically start the server. You should not have to start and stop it yourself, although we'll discuss that if you have to in class later on. I would not change anything here either. And then we're going to ignore these plugins, and I think we are ready to execute the configuration, which again should not, see the server is going to start automatically here, which should not take too long, after which the product was configured and the entire installation is successfully completed. After this, there is really nothing for you to do but move on to the installation of the next piece of software, which is a Toad client that's going to allow us to hook up to this MySQL server.